Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 125, and today I am extremely tired. I am completely knackered because I've been up since about 10 to 5 in the morning. Now for some of you, you probably sat there thinking, 10 to 5 in the morning, that's nothing, I do that every single day. But I am not a morning person, and I don't have a job that requires me to get up really early in the morning. So generally speaking, I get up around about 7 or 8. 5 was something slightly different for me, but there was a reason for it. I actually wanted to grab my DJI Mavic Pro, which is my new drone that literally just arrived the other day that I've been waiting for months for, and I wanted to take it to film the sunrise over a frozen lake, which is a very specific set of requirements, I know, but I knew that the weather today was going to be absolutely freezing cold with clear blue skies like these. And I wanted to get there nice and early so everything was still frosted over, and then I could film the sun coming up over the horizon. And I did it, and it looked amazing. Seriously, it looked incredible. Now, I will be posting that video on the vlogging channel on Saturday, I do believe. I've just finished editing it, and I am completely blown away by how cool it looks. But to be honest with you, I just wanted to tell you about the experience because it was hilariously good fun. It seriously was so much fun, and even though I am going to be knackered for the rest of the day now, it was well worth it, and I would definitely do it again. So unfortunately, the first thing that we have to do is we need to kill off all of the cows in this system here. In fact, actually, let's block this off. Perfect. Okay, so now we have some cows backed up so we can test this out on. But as you can probably tell from my inventory, we have some slime blocks, we have some sticky pistons. Water elevators, you know, they're so 2011, 2010. Slime blocks are definitely the future, so we are going to be launching these cows up through this tube, hopefully up into that water stream, and then across on top of those hoppers there. Right, now all I have to do is break this block right here, and we should see that yes, our slime block has dropped down, and then eventually, a cow will end up in this system right here, and we will see if it gets launched upwards. I mean, we need to cover up this block. Okay, maybe that's not the best start. Yes, it actually works! I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, why is that so funny for me? I don't know, just seeing cows just fly up through this tube. Wow. Well, what a fantastic solution to this problem. Let's cover up all of the blocks and then we're done with this thing. We do have another slight problem though, which is that cows can actually jump out of the killing chamber and back into the water stream, which seems to sort of back up the system. But as you can see, the killing mechanism works absolutely fine. I'll grab myself a looting sword in the next couple seconds. I think I do need to redesign this section here though. Right then, everything has been adjusted. The killing area has been dropped down by 1 extra block. We now have a gap in this section right here. I guess there's only one thing to do, and that is to unlock the cows to allow baby cows to fall out. And we should probably start breeding these guys. Now, by the look of things, I'm quite hungry, so we're going to eat some of that. And then we should start seeing love hearts popping up above all of these cows, and we should see some baby cows dropping down into the system. That is what I like to see. Fantastic. Excellent. Okay, so we've got 4 baby cows from there, and hopefully they make their way up using our slime block launcher. There they are. I love it. This is the perfect system. Look at them. Oh no. Oh. So when there's more than one of them, they seem to struggle to get up. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it works fine. Phew, I was really worried then that we were going to have to turn off our slime block system. By the look of things, this guy's just a fat one. He just doesn't seem to be able to get up into the water stream. Once again, I am looking for a fire aspect sword. To no avail, and we definitely don't have a fire aspect villager. So, we're in this situation again. It pains me to do it, but thank you ever so much, Mr. Impulse SV. 1 fire aspect book. We've got looting 3 right there. Then we can just create the sword. And now the cow farm is all done and dusted. We have got 1 fire aspect 2 looting 3 sword. We have got all of the baby cows in this area here that all seem to be growing up eventually, which is good. Massive thumbs up from me for that one. There is however one slight issue. The cows seem to have exploded out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how that's come about. I think I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to leave that as an issue for a future episode of Hermitcraft, because now we are going to be heading over to the Death Star, and we're going to be adding some new bits and pieces over there. So as you guys know, in the previous episode of Hermitcraft, me and some of the hermits played a game in the Death Star, and we were playing in 2 different teams. I think it was me and Iskull, and then Cub and Rendog. And we had different colours of armour on, which I thought was a really cool idea. Obviously, we didn't do it too well, though, because we had blue and red. We only had the helmets and the boots, and it was impossible to tell which team the other person was on. So, for my teams, we're going to be using iron and gold. That should hopefully be a little bit easier to differentiate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an automatic team selector system that also equips the players with armour. Now, I think that seems like a pretty good idea to me. Stage 1 of the process is done. We have got all of the signs in place. They're quite simply saying, this is for those who want to play in teams. To randomly select teams, place iron and gold in the dropper, hit the button, whichever item they get is the team they are on. Once teams are decided, each player should equip themselves by standing on the gold/iron block and hitting the button. Then you'll be fully equipped and ready to fight. So that little bit right there probably gives you guys a bit of a hint as to what we are going to be creating next. We are going to be creating an armor equipping station, which will allow our players to be automatically armored up, and it is going to involve a block that drops down into the floor. Then we're going to have dispensers around like this, which will put the armor on us, and then the player will pop back out of the ground. I personally think it will look really cool, but it is going to take some redstone designing. Right, so this right here is the redstone contraption that I've created. Now, I have spent a whole ton of time designing this thing because I wanted it to be perfect. I'm fairly certain I've actually done something like this in the past on my YouTube channel, and it was probably quite a lot more compact. But this system seems to be really quite quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves some leggings and also a helmet, and we'll chuck it into all of the dispensers, and we'll see if this thing actually works. So that one there is going to be for the boots, and of course this one is going to be for the leggings, and this one is going to be for the helmet. And then we're going to pop down here. Currently we are not wearing any armor whatsoever, but when we hit this button we should drop down into that hole, and then everything will be dispensed onto us, and then we pop back up. Yes! It works! Fantastic! Alright, so this is going to be completely flush with the floor. You're not going to be able to see anything down under here. Oh, that is ideal! I'm a moron who has built this at completely the wrong level. I mean, I don't know how I thought. How did I think that was right? Oh, so most of the build has been constructed. We have got the entire double piston extender. We also have all of the circuitry for the dispensers, but I don't have any dispensers on me. We're going to do the first test of this thing. Good. Yeah, that all seems to be working. By the look of things, that these are timed correctly, so you can see that redstone powers just as that final block is retracted. I mean, I can't complain. That's amazing. Right, let's see if we can actually speed things up a little bit here. Even better. Right, okay, so we have got our first double piston extender. I'm going to grab the dispensers for this one, and then I guess I should probably start work on the other one as well. Oh, for goodness sake, for about the 15th time, I think these circuits right here might cause us a problem. That seems a little bit close for comfort. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll see if I can slot the redstone contraption in. So this is everything that we have at this point in time. Now, I know that the design that I've used right here isn't particularly exciting. I am actually considering adding a cobblestone rim going around the edge like this. I think that could potentially look quite cool. But as you can see, when we hit this button, this should drop down, and that will be our armor dispenser. And the same thing should happen on the other side. Good stuff. Okay, so now I just need to replace this block here and this block here with iron and gold. And then I need to fill in all of the dispensers with all of the different types of armor. Now, if you're wondering why I picked iron and gold for all of the armors, because that seems quite expensive. I mean, it'd be much cheaper to go with leather. It's because all of that stuff can be bought in the Brown District, and obviously all of that stuff is being farmed as well. So Tango Tech has got the iron farm. Obviously I have my iron farms as well, but they're currently running pretty low, so I'm just going to grab some from here. We need 2 stacks or 1 stack. Yeah, 2 diamonds for 1 stack of blocks. So there we go. So there's 1, and there we go. So we now have a whole ton of iron and a whole ton of gold as well. That should be plenty to craft up all of our armor. At least, fingers crossed. So each one of our dispensers is now fully loaded up with items, but I have run into another issue. Yeah, another issue. And that is the loading system. Obviously, you need to be able to reload all of the armor, so we have these hoppers going around here. Now, to make it look nice, I've placed a hopper right here. But as you can see, this hopper here gets powered by that block, which means that if we place anything on the inside, it gets stored up in that hopper, which is just not particularly good. I don't actually know how to fix this one. Now, I will be the first to admit that this is not a particularly glamorous solution to the problem, but it works, and that is fantastic news. All I need to do is I need to take off my armor right here and say I was elected to be on Team Iron. I just stand on this block, I hit this button, we drop down, we get equipped, and then we pop back up. Yes! What a win! And then all we have to do after the game is obviously we take off all of our armor, we place the helmet in there, the leggings in there, and then the boots in that one, and they will cycle back through into the system. Fantastic, excellent, this thing is now done. We can draw a line under the team building project. Let's move on from that one. Alright, so the next plan of action is to try our best to land on the edge of this place. I don't know what just happened there, but we seem to have survived, which is a good thing. But what I want to do is I want to create some fire arrow dispensers. So these are going to be some dispensers hooked up in the 4 sort of corners, corners of the sphere, and they're going to shoot into the center of the sphere when someone triggers the tripwire. It should be quite a simple little system, but the chances are I'm going to get something wrong or completely overlook something really important, so let's see what happens. Like, for example, forget all my arrows and also all of my lava. I mean, how do I even do that? And now, all of the lava buckets that I did have seem to have gone missing. I really hate this total junk end of the storage system. Obviously, most of the items in here are items that can't be sorted out. They're like non-stackable items, and some of them are just items that I don't have a lot of. But I think I definitely need to clean out this place at some point in the near future, because I am pulling my hair out looking through this space. Oh yeah, I brought them with me in my shulker box. Just that was like a combination of stupid things. A real combination of stupid things. I'm just going to let that sink in for a while. I've just made a realization. This tripwire is way too long. Which means that it's not going to work. Maybe we could have like a single solid block in the middle? Yeah, let's give that a go. So here it is. This is the system. If we were to go past this tripwire right here, we get ourselves a flaming arrow dispensed, and the same thing goes for this side as well. If we can actually hit the string. Yeah. That's going to be pretty important in certain games. I mean, I highly doubt it's going to happen in every single game, but every now and again, I think at least 1 or 2 players are going to be taken out by those things right there. So I'm going to hook them up to these sides as well, and I think with this central dispenser, I'll also fill that thing up with arrows and have it shoot upwards, so then it sort of goes up and then comes back down. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea to me. Right, so I have connected up all of our dispensers on the outside here, but I have somehow managed to forget to put the arrows in that dispenser, and now I've totally forgotten which dispenser that was. I think it was that one down there. So we're going to do some parkour. Right, okay, we'll make our way over to it. That is the one problem with this build right here, is it is almost impossible to navigate. But yeah, so we need to put in a couple stacks and a half of arrows into that one. And I guess we should probably do the central one as well, but let's quickly make sure that this thing is working. If we were to trigger that string, we should see... Awesome. I'll try my best to fill this thing in with arrows. Oh my word, that was potentially very dangerous. Alright, let's try again. Oh! I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to have to pillar up, to be honest with you. Next plan of action is to create a gigantic sign on the side of the sphere. Now, I don't actually know if this is going to look any good, but I feel like it's something that I really want to do. A lot of people on the Hermitcraft server, before we announced what the Death Star was, kept asking in the group chat, what on earth is that gigantic sphere? And I had to keep explaining that it was like an aerial fight type game. So now we're just going to add a gigantic label on the side of this thing that is going to tell every member of the Hermitcraft server that this is in fact the Death Star. Now this is going to have a background. I was thinking maybe some stone bricks and then of course some stone slabs, basically to match the build. Every single build that we're doing around the Death Star is designed to match the build. And I think maybe... I don't know if I want to, you know, sort of bevel the edges a little bit so that it's a tiny bit more spherical. That might be something that I actually do, because that looks a tiny bit cooler. Even if it's just adding like an extra, maybe knocking out that block right there. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I've been playing Minecraft for ages today, but I actually quite like that. The completely hollow sign. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to construct on the Hermitcraft server. Finally, I have managed to get myself onto the side of this thing, which is always a massive struggle. Then I have to go 22 blocks in each direction. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you guys get the idea. I've got to build the massive square on the side of this thing, and then we can start doing all of the lettering. How much do you want to bet that I fall off this really, really quickly? Because I think if I had a mortgage, I'll be betting that. I just thought I would log in to check out how things are going, and yep, this thing looks hilarious. Yeah, it's a good start. I mean, we've got all of the outline in place. It sort of looks central. It should be central. I've done all of the maths. Hopefully, it looks a tiny bit less clunky once we get all of the letters in. Alright, the finishing touches are being put on the R right now, and I'm actually just trying to remember how I did it. I think it's something a little bit like this, maybe. I think it's only a 1 block wide section up at the top there, and then yeah, we have blocks coming down a little bit like that. I'm fairly certain, not 100%, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick all of these stray blocks up, and then we're going to jump off the edge, and we're going to take a look at this thing for the first time. Now, I actually logged out the second account earlier, so that I didn't see this sign in the process of being built. But there it is. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's one of those things. It's quite a basic little build. It's nothing too spectacular, but now we have got the name of the Death Star on the side of the Death Star, and I have to say it does look pretty cool, especially from that angle right there. Yeah, that hits the nail on the head. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so this thing is now looking much cooler. It now looks absolutely mega. So we're going to leave all of that behind, and we're going to head on back over to my base, because it seems like ages since I've done any form of AFK session. We've been doing a lot of Death Star playing, and that has meant that I haven't really had the chance to do any form of AFKing. I'm sort of between trying to get gunpowder and trying to get enchanted books. I feel like, yeah, I definitely need gunpowder quite a lot more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix up these redstone clocks right here, and then we're going to go AFK overnight. Right, I have worked out what's happened, and it's really annoying. So by the look of things, the item is just duped massively. I mean, look at that. That item has been duplicated 41 times. Alright, well, I guess I should probably chuck my diamond blocks in there. That would probably be a good idea. But, wow, I did not realise that dupe glitch was still so in the game. I thought it was between chunk boundaries, but apparently not. Jeez. And this one is exactly the same. We've got almost 2 stacks of granite from 1 piece of granite. Wow. Okay. Well, that's definitely something to keep in mind. So, I have just come back into the office and I was greeted with the message, server dying. Ah, that isn't particularly brilliant. I feel like maybe there is a chance that my base is a little bit lethal to the server. We might have to do some lag busting at some point in the near future right here. But also, I was terribly worried that my mob spawner has been turned off all night. But thankfully, I've just popped back onto the server, and by the look of things, it seems to be okay. And yes, it is definitely working. I mean, we have got mobs that are falling out of this thing like nothing else. So let's take a look inside this chest right here and see. Oh, we got kicked so early. We have got probably about 10 stacks of gunpowder. Maybe 12 stacks of gunpowder. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.